Welcome back to the 48 Laws of Power series. Rocket in this video, we'll explore laws 25 to 48, the second half of Robert Greene's legendary book. If you're ready to discover how to recreate yourself, master timing, and remain unpredictable, you're in the right place. In part 1, we covered the first 24 laws and set the foundation for mastering influence. Now, we're diving deeper into strategies that have shaped history's greatest leaders and changemakers. Each law is packed with powerful lessons, real-life examples, and practical tips you can start applying today. Get ready, because by the end of this video, you'll have the complete roadmap to understanding and mastering power. Let's begin. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Don't be confined to the roles others assign to you. Take control of your identity by constantly evolving and reinventing yourself. This flexibility not only keeps you relevant, but also makes you unpredictable and intriguing. Example: Napoleon Bonaparte rose from a minor Corsican nobleman to Emperor of France through constant reinvention. He transformed his image from an outsider to a military hero, then to a savior of the revolution, and finally to an emperor. Each reinvention kept his enemies guessing and solidified his power. In your career, adapt to changing trends and learn new skills to stay ahead. If faced with failure or criticism, reinvent your image to bounce back stronger. Maintain an air of mystery by not being tied to one identity or role. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. Avoid being directly involved in controversial or dirty tasks. Delegate unpleasant duties to others to preserve your reputation while still achieving your goals. Example: Queen Elizabeth I of England skillfully avoided direct involvement in controversial decisions, such as the execution of Mary, Queen of Scots. She let her ministers carry out the act, allowing her to maintain her image as a reluctant yet just ruler. In the workplace, delegate tough decisions to subordinates while maintaining a neutral or positive stance. If mistakes happen, ensure someone else takes responsibility, preserving your clean reputation. Be cautious about public actions that could tarnish your image. Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Humans naturally seek purpose and belonging. By providing them with a cause or vision, you can build a loyal following. Keep your followers engaged with rituals, symbols, or promises of transformation. Example: Elon Musk inspires a near cult-like following with his vision for a future of sustainable energy and space exploration. Fans and investors alike believe in his larger-than-life goals, making him an influential figure. Build a sense of exclusivity around your brand, product, or leadership. Use rituals, slogans, or grand visions to inspire loyalty. Present yourself as the answer to people's aspirations or desires. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. Boldness attracts attention, inspires confidence, and intimidates opposition. In contrast, hesitation shows weakness and invites challenges. Approach opportunities and conflicts with courage and decisiveness. Example: When Hernán Cortés landed in Mexico, he boldly burned his ships, signaling to his men there was no turning back. This decisive act galvanized his forces and intimidated the Aztecs. In negotiations, show confidence by making bold but calculated demands. Take risks that others are too hesitant to pursue, as boldness can lead to significant rewards. Avoid second-guessing yourself in high-stakes situations. Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. To avoid pitfalls and unforeseen obstacles, always have a clear vision of your goal and a detailed plan to reach it. Anticipate challenges and prepare contingencies to stay in control. Example: The construction of the Great Wall of China during the Ming Dynasty was a long-term project with a clear purpose: to protect the empire from northern invasions. The meticulous planning and foresight ensured its success as a defensive structure. In business, develop a clear roadmap for projects, including contingencies for potential risks. In personal finance, plan your investments with a long-term perspective. Avoid short-term fixes that could create bigger problems in the future. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. People admire skill that appears natural and effortless. Conceal the hard work and struggles behind your achievements to create an image of ease and competence. Example: the magician Harry Houdini spent countless hours practicing his escapes, but during performances, he made them look spontaneous and easy. His audiences were awestruck by what seemed like innate brilliance. At work, deliver results without showing the stress or difficulties you faced. Avoid over-explaining your effort in social settings. Let results speak for themselves. Maintain composure, even in challenging situations, to appear in control. Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play the cards you deal. People feel empowered when they believe they have a choice, even if the choices are limited. By framing options in a way that benefits you regardless of their decision, you maintain control. Example: during negotiations for the Louisiana Purchase, Napoleon Bonaparte presented the U.S. with two options: buy the entire territory or risk losing access to vital trade routes. This tactic forced the U.S. to accept the deal on Napoleon's terms. In sales, present limited packages that all work in your favor. In leadership, give team members options, but ensure every choice aligns with your goals. Frame decisions in relationships to subtly influence outcomes in your favor. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. Reality can be harsh, and people often prefer comforting illusions or dreams of escape. By presenting fantasies or grand visions, you can captivate their imagination and loyalty. Example: Walt Disney created an empire by offering people an escape into magical worlds. His vision of the happiest place on Earth appealed to dreams of joy and wonder, ensuring Disney's enduring success. So, in marketing, emphasize the dream your product or service fulfills. Inspire teams with a vision of success rather than focusing on current challenges. Use storytelling to create compelling narratives that draw people in. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a desire, or an insecurity that can be used to influence them. By identifying what motivates or troubles a person, you can use it to your advantage. Example: during the Cold War, the CIA used psychological profiling to identify the vulnerabilities of foreign agents. They exploited personal insecurities or desires, such as financial struggles or family ties, to turn them into informants. In negotiations, find out what the other party values most and use it to leverage a favorable deal. In personal relationships, identify your partner's needs or desires to strengthen the bond or influence decisions. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. Project confidence, dignity, and self-worth to command respect and authority. If you act like you are destined for greatness, others will believe it and treat you accordingly. Example: Catherine the Great of Russia carried herself with regal authority even before ascending to the throne. Her demeanor convinced the court and military to support her coup, securing her rule. Dress and speak in a manner that conveys confidence and competence in professional settings. Avoid self-deprecating behavior. Instead, exude self-respect to earn the respect of others. Law 35. Master the art of timing. Recognize the right moment to act and the right moment to wait. Acting too soon or too late can ruin opportunities. Be patient and strike when conditions are most favorable. Example: during the American Civil War, General Ulysses S. Grant waited for the opportune moment to launch his final assault on Confederate forces, ensuring a decisive victory at Appomattox Courthouse. So, in the workplace, wait for the right opportunity to present your ideas or request a promotion. In conflicts, delay action until you have the upper hand or enough support to succeed. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. When faced with unattainable goals or insults, it's better to ignore them than to show frustration or obsession. Indifference diminishes their power over you. Example: after being rejected from the Paris Salon, Claude Monet and other Impressionist painters started their own exhibitions, ignoring the traditional art establishment. Their indifference led to the rise of Impressionism as a major art movement. Don't waste energy on goals that are out of reach. Focus on what you can achieve. Ignore insults or provocations to deny others the satisfaction of seeing your reaction. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. People are drawn to dramatic, grand, and visual displays. Use spectacular events or symbolic gestures to captivate attention and solidify your authority or message. Example: when John F. Kennedy announced the moon landing goal, it was a grand spectacle of ambition. The imagery and vision captivated the world, solidifying America's leadership during the space race. Use visuals, stories, or grand gestures in presentations to leave a lasting impression. Organize impactful events or campaigns that draw attention and admiration. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. Keep your true thoughts private and conform outwardly to social norms. By blending in, you avoid unnecessary attention or opposition while quietly pursuing your goals. Example: Niccolò Machiavelli worked discreetly within the politically volatile courts of Renaissance Italy. He publicly conformed to expectations while privately strategizing and writing about power dynamics. At work, align with the company culture while pursuing your ambitions discreetly. Avoid sharing controversial opinions publicly. Instead, reserve them for trusted circles. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. Chaos and emotional reactions cloud judgment. By provoking others into losing their composure, you can manipulate them and gain the upper hand. Example: during World War II, British intelligence planted fake documents to mislead the Germans, stirring confusion about the Allies' true plans. This strategy disrupted German defenses, aiding the D-Day invasion. In negotiations, subtly frustrate or confuse your opponent to make them more vulnerable to your terms. When dealing with difficult people, stay calm while encouraging them to overreact, exposing their weaknesses. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. Nothing valuable comes without a cost. Avoid depending on freebies and instead focus on creating or acquiring things through effort. This builds respect and self-reliance. Example: Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate, built his empire by reinvesting profits instead of relying on handouts or easy loans. His self-made success earned him immense respect and influence. Avoid accepting favors that may make you indebted to others. Invest in yourself by paying for knowledge, training, or tools that add value to your skills. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Don't try to overshadow or replicate the legacy of those who came before you. Create your own unique path to avoid inevitable comparisons and establish your distinct identity. For example, Alexander the Great was careful not to simply follow in his father King Philip II's footsteps. Instead, he expanded the empire far beyond his father's achievements, earning a legacy that surpassed Philip's. In business, don't just maintain the status quo of a predecessor. Introduce innovative ideas to stand out. In creative fields, develop your own style rather than imitating mentors or icons. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Target the source of discord or opposition to neutralize their influence. By removing the leader or instigator, you weaken the collective resistance. For example, during the fall of the Mafia, U.S. law enforcement focused on capturing key mob bosses like John Gotti. Without strong leadership, the once powerful organization fractured and lost its influence. In team conflicts, address the ringleader causing problems rather than dealing with the entire group. In negotiations, focus on convincing the key decision maker to win over the group. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Influence people by appealing to their emotions and deeper needs rather than using force or coercion. By winning their loyalty and trust, you gain lasting influence. For example, Mahatma Gandhi gained the hearts and minds of millions through his nonviolent resistance. By appealing to people's sense of justice and humanity, he united India in the fight for independence. In leadership, connect emotionally with your team to inspire loyalty and motivation. Build relationships by showing genuine empathy and understanding of others' needs. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Reflect people's actions, behaviors, or values back to them. This tactic either builds rapport or unsettles them by revealing their flaws and insecurities. For example, in the 16th century, French King Francis I mimicked the Spanish King Charles V during negotiations to confuse and frustrate him. This tactic gave Francis an advantage, as Charles became emotional and impatient. In disputes, mirror someone's tone to neutralize aggression and de-escalate the situation. In negotiations, mimic the other party's language style or posture to build subtle rapport. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. While change can be necessary, too much disruption creates resistance. Introduce reforms gradually to ensure acceptance and minimize backlash. For example, Franklin D. Roosevelt implemented the New Deal gradually, avoiding sweeping reforms that could alienate conservative factions. This strategy ensured lasting economic and social reforms. In organizational leadership, implement new policies incrementally to gain buy-in from employees. In personal relationships, make gradual changes rather than forcing abrupt shifts in dynamics. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Flawless success breeds envy. To avoid being targeted by jealousy, occasionally admit small weaknesses or setbacks to appear relatable and human. For example, Winston Churchill, despite his brilliance as a leader, openly shared stories of his past failures and struggles. This humility made him more endearing and avoided envy from his peers. At work, acknowledge occasional challenges to appear more approachable. In social settings, share relatable experiences rather than highlighting only your successes. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. Excess ambition after achieving success often leads to downfall. Recognize when to stop and consolidate your gains rather than pushing too far. For example, Napoleon Bonaparte's invasion of Russia was a classic case of overreach. After achieving significant victories in Europe, he extended his ambitions too far, leading to catastrophic defeat. In negotiations, accept a favorable deal rather than pushing for more and risking everything. In personal achievements, celebrate milestones instead of always chasing perfection. Law 48. Assume formlessness. Be adaptable and unpredictable. By refusing to commit to a fixed plan or identity, you can respond flexibly to changing circumstances and avoid being easily pinned down by opponents. For example, the guerrilla tactics of the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War exemplified formlessness. Their adaptability and unpredictability made them difficult for a conventional army to defeat. In business, adapt strategies to changing market trends rather than sticking rigidly to old plans. In relationships, stay open to new ideas and avoid being predictable or rigid in your behavior. Imagine a young entrepreneur, Ria, who started her journey in a competitive industry. She studied the 48 laws of power meticulously, using each law as a stepping stone. When her competitors underestimated her, she quietly concealed her true intentions, Law 3, and build alliances by appealing to their hearts and minds, Law 43. When the time was right, she introduced innovations, but never all at once, Law 45, ensuring her team and clients adapted smoothly. Today, Ria is a leader in her field, respected for her strategic brilliance and ability to inspire loyalty. Ria's story shows that power isn't about manipulation or domination. It's about understanding human nature and mastering the art of influence. These 48 laws are your toolkit to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and carve your own path to success. If you want to unlock the secrets of power and write your own success story, make sure to like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel. Together, let's decode the art of power, one law at a time. See you in the next video.